What's going on, my friend, and welcome back to your daily dose of Broodwar. We've got Larva over here in the top left, and Larva, one of the crowd favorites. I knew I had to cast this game as soon as I saw it. Now, I don't know if he is back. This is a recent game from December 2023, and yeah, I just don't know whether he's making a full comeback right now or if he's just messing around on the ladder on stream. This was sent to me by the guys at Dude Nerd, the guys at Seawall.gg, aka Dude Nerd. And yeah, hopefully that answers all your questions. I'm really hoping that Larva is coming back. He's a great player, and just a fantastic personality overall for the Broodwar scene. So would love to see more games from him. But now we can get into this game. I hope I've answered all your questions. So over here at the bottom right, we've got Noob. Noob, who is not true to his name. Definitely a stellar player. Hasn't been at the very pinnacle of plays. Not like a ASL champion like someone like Larva, but he is an up-and-coming Protoss player who's been improving in power. He's not somebody I'm looking at. He's not like a Ruin or a Barracks or a Saxery or a Com or anything like that. He's kind of one of those guys that might take a little bit longer, you know, to come into his own. He's working on it, and that's kind of the journey that we're all on, trying to improve, trying to be the very best like no one ever was. Now, Noob doesn't manage to get the hatch block here, and Larva hiding that drone. Also hiding the Overlord is very important. The second Overlord, you need to send it out in a direction where it can't be scouted easily, so that the Protoss player doesn't know that you're there. That way you can actually hide that. Ooh, a little bit of a mini game going on here. Noob almost getting a kill on that drone. 13 HP left on that, and a 9 pool opener, or excuse me, an overpool opener here from Larva. It's a good way to play. I enjoy the overpool opener. I'm an overpool enjoyer. Drone here has scouted the gateway first. One zealot is out on the map, and another pair of lings gonna come out here. It's gonna go up to 6 lings, and you should be able to deal with this zealot no problem. Back at home, Nexus is coming up here. Is checking around, making sure that he get... Oh, he loses the probe. It's a good kill there for Larva. You want to get rid of that probe so that, you know, usually the zealot will come in and he'll start harassing. The lings will be drawn to the zealot, and then the probe can slip back into the main and get another little confirm on what's going on. But now that the probe is gone, the zealot's going to hide over here in this corner. It's kind of a cute little corner here. I guess you can probably only get about 2-3 lings on that. Still, 3 lings is good enough. And it's just lings coming out here for Larva, who's got his gas now, but he's going to put on that pressure in a big way here. Quite a lot of lings coming up. He's got these 6, plus another 6 following this up. So 3 zealots are not going to be the optimal amount to deal with this. He's trying to get the catch on one of those zealots. Not going to get it for now. Would love to run by into the main. Is going to deal as much damage to this gateway as possible. Here we go, jumping on top of the zealots now. Zealots are going down in rapid succession here. Not a lot of health left on these. Lings are going down as well. 2 probes have been pulled. Nice little 2 probes here at the front. I actually like that a lot. Adding that extra DPS and just kind of blocking the lings away a little bit. Looks like we're not going to be able to get in here. We only killed a couple of zealots. This is not really worth it for our man here. Where did that other zealot go, by the way? Did it run in? I was a little bit too busy paying attention to this. Oh, there it is. Okay, it doesn't have any kills yet. It's in the main base, though. It's gonna go after some of these drones. Really good micro here so far from Larva. Oh, 3 HP on that one. I think the probe should be trying to look for that, but maybe he hasn't noticed it yet. More zealots moving across. This is where things get really messy here for the Zerg. It's so hard to pay attention to all this and make sure you don't lose any drones. So drones are coming up here to the third base. This could be the moment when drone damage actually does occur. No. Gonna start going after the hatchery here. Looks like the zealot in the main has been cleaned. Zealots here. Fighting with these lings. Getting a little bit low. Drones are being used as well. You gotta be very careful not to lose any. There's one drone going down, but it's not as bad as it could be. He manages to deal with all the zealots. And he hasn't overproduced lings here, I think. He's got 3 more sets of lings coming. That should be all he needs. These follow-up zealots are gonna head back home, so full-on drone production now. The Spire is about halfway done. How are we on the Corsair? Well, we're getting kind of close to that Corsair, so things are looking a little scary. I don't understand this Spire placement here. Does that actually help this? Oh, maybe it does help a little bit. The drone mining here. Usually you want to get vertical mining going, so you try to hit the drone right on the corner there so that it mines like straight up and down. But it's not too bad. It seems like might be a little slower. I'm not sure. Not 100% sure on that. Corsair on the way across the map. Now all of the overlords have been pulled back. Not something you usually do with the Spire play. Usually leave, you know, your overlords around somewhere around here, and you can bring them back towards the front and just keep an eye on what's going on while popping out Scourge. Scourge are on the way now, so this Corsair is going to get no damage. No damage, it just sees what's going on here. Still a valuable scout for Noob. He knows he doesn't need to build any more cannons. It's kind of scary when you've already taken this much damage on your gateway. But since he knows there's no follow-up Hydra bus coming or anything like that, he doesn't need to build those extra cannons. Scourge spreading out everywhere. Do we have second guess? Yes, we do. So maybe some Muta's gonna pop here. Let's see. Upgrades are on the way. No Muta's in production just yet. Cannon gonna come up here. Oh, you could get this. The acceleration on the Corsair, just barely enough. The Scourge not able to connect. That's a little bit frustrating there for our Zerg player. Got 4 Corsairs now. This cannon's gonna finish. He will not be able to connect there. And he's tracking these zealots going across the map. Gonna create some problems for Larva here. But as they come up the ramp, they're met by Zerglings and Hydras. And they will have to retreat. So should be full on back into droning mode here for Larva. He's at 30 drones. You want to pump those numbers up a little bit, son. Get those numbers up there. All right, zealots are going to try to run up here again. That's not going to work. That's not going to go well. We've got pretty nice SimCity here. It could use another building right here. Actually really block this up, because the zealots will get in there pretty quickly. Start to mess up your Hydras if they can run around here. Get in there. There's not really any like egg blocking you can do or anything like that. Same thing with this hole. You can't really block that with an egg. So this is definitely the prime location to attack into. And it appears that Noob is going to do so. Ooh, coming in on top of these overlords. There's not enough Hydras here to actually fight. And the zealots are actually getting in on top of the Hydras as well. You'll have to retreat to the ramp. Scourge come in and do connect with some of these Corsairs. But man, oh man, the amount of overlords going down right now is kind of insane. Dropping all the way to 21 supply. Ouch. That's a lot of lost overlords, and those will have to be replenished here by Larva as soon as possible. It's like he's kind of forgotten about this hatchery a little bit, but he does have 6 overlords on the way. There we go. Does utilize one of those eggs, one of those larvae, excuse me. You don't want to be leaving larva at, you don't want to leave any of your hatches at 3 larvae if you can help it as a Zerg player. So that was one of the first things that Shun told me when I was learning Zerg, is how important it is that if you've got 3 larvae at a hatchery or at a bunch of hatcheries, you can't really produce anything. Build 1 overlord at each hatchery. It takes a little bit more time to do, but that way you maximize your larva And then once those overlords pop out, you know, you're going to have 3 larvae at every hatch rather than, you know, just building them all at one hatchery. And then one hatchery not having any larvae, just 1 larva and the rest sitting there with 3 for a long time. Anyway, tangent there. We've got this zealot army coming out across the map once again, but zealots are not really going to do the trick anymore. We've got a large number of Hydra here now. More and more Hydras are popping out. Noob was attempting to take advantage of the fact that, you know, Larva wasn't able to produce Hydras for quite some time while he's reproducing those overlords. So he's trying to get in here and deal more damage. He's able to kill a couple more overlords. He's able to track down some of these Hydras, but you can see the micro here from Larva pretty darn good. He's pretty good at pulling back the injured Hydras, making sure that he does maximum damage with these units, pushing back all of the zealots here. He wasn't able to gun down any more Corsairs during that fight, but he gets rid of the majority of the zealots, and he's transitioning now into some Mutalisk play. With that 3rd gas online, you have a choice. Do you want to go Mutalisk or do you want to go Lurkers? And Larva, ever the man of finesse that he is, gonna go for Mutalisk. He knows there's not that many Corsairs left right now. There's only 4 Corsairs here, and 12 Mutalisks are on the way right now. Wow. That is a lot of mutas, actually. I was expecting like 8 or 10 maybe, but 12 is a serious commitment here. He's actually going to need those to fight with his army a little bit. He needs to kill the Templar and actually fight a little bit with the, you know, Dragoon Zealot and stuff like that. That's going to require him to actually remove these Corsairs. Otherwise, he's not going to be able to make it happen. Coming in now, getting 2 Templar right away. He gets the 3rd Templar and ducks out beautifully. Really well done here. Getting all the Templar and keeping the majority of his Mutalisks alive. I think he even got the Observer as well. I think I heard that go down. So well played by Larva. And that's not going to win him the game right now because he didn't have the follow-up force to, you know, surround and kill all the Dragoons, that type of thing. But it will give him some space here on the map, and then he's going to use that space to take a 4th base. He should be heading up towards Hive here soon as well. 4th base, or 3rd base on the way, excuse me, for Noob. You should be able to deny this with the mutas. Coming in with the mutas right now, you easily stop this base. I think the Hydra should be back at home, though, defending, because eventually this army will have to go for a counterattack. Yeah, I think he's just going to pull everything together and counterattack. So you got to know this is coming right now. He's going to go after this Templar. Beautiful snipe there. Another Templar goes down. Really, really well played by Larva. And he's actually drawn the army back, which I am a little bit shocked about. I didn't think he was going to be able to draw Noob back into the natural, but I guess he was afraid of losing his natural because he doesn't have those extra cannons. If he had like 4, 5, 6 cannons here, he probably would have just pushed, left 1 Templar back or rallied a Templar out, get that energy. But now Noob is moving across the map. Now he's going for a counterattack. He's got 1 Templar. Oh my god, Larva's really outplayed Noob this game. Seriously outplayed him here. The snipes on the Templar have been insane. And just 2 Templar moving out with this army. God. You have to be feeling bad as Noob here. Backing up quite a bit of minerals. He's going to be able to drop a bunch of cannons over here on the center right. Kind of zoning the mutas right now. Templar following this army. Oh god, the control is just not there. Losing another Templar here. That was 1 of 2. 1 of 2 Templar. He's going to snipe down the Corsairs now. Corsairs have been removed. Now the real anti-air of Noob is gone. Larva in a prime position to actually take this game with 13 Lurkers being made right now. I mean, that's a lot of Dragoons. I actually feel like this is a kind of a mistake. Maybe building just a few Lurkers, you know, like 4 or 5 Lurkers. And the rest just pure Hydralisk and Ling would probably be a better choice. Maybe even just mass Hydra. Because you just don't have the storms, right? Storms are what makes the Hydralisk composition, just pure Hydra composition, not good. But if you have no storms in your army, then Dragoons really aren't going to do well against that. Dragoons do pretty darn well against lurkers, so we'll see how this goes here. Ling's coming out and fighting. They don't even have a speed right now. They are going to be getting that speed here shortly. Hive is on the way now. And lurkers here going to be defending pretty well. Maybe Larva's right about this. This is a pretty good spot, man. Really shutting down this attack here. 3 Templar moving across the map. Oh my goodness. 3 Templar moving across the map right now are going to get flanked by these mutas. And they should be getting taken out here. Oh, never mind. Okay, not microing those. There's actually enough Templar here now to take this fight. Noob has that 3rd base operational now. So he is in a fighting position here. More Zealots coming across the map being rallied forward. But this attack into here really didn't do anything. It did less than nothing. Zealot, or I keep saying Zealot. Larva. Larva is just chilling right now. He doesn't have too many lurkers on this high ground, though. Uh-oh. Whoa, he actually kind of, you know, didn't pay attention to his 4th base here. That's not good. He's turning around and actually running into this Hydra lurker army. But man, he could really break this right now, I think. If he just ran up this ramp, like start right-clicking all his stuff up here, I think he could absolutely get up there and kill that 4th base. But Larva, bit of respite here. Going to be able to send some reinforcements to that area. He definitely knows that this is not a good situation right now. And having this Protoss army bearing down on that 4th base is a bad situation. Lurkers being morphed over here. At the bottom center, some Lings will be transferred to this location just to clean that up. Lurkers now on high ground with 3 sunken colonies. That should be enough to hold on, at least in time for the army to surround. But there was a brief moment there when Noob actually could have killed that 4th base and given himself a winning position, but I think that moment has passed. Good old Storm Egg. Gonna get rid of those eggs there. The lurkers here on the high ground will defend everything. This is a pretty sweet little position here, actually. I like it. I like it from Larva. 2 sunken colonies right there. Makes it so hard to walk up this ramp. Like, nearly impossible. You can see he's trying to do the same thing over here as well. Lurkers here on high ground have prevented this base from going down. That Dragoon, if it missed any more shots, it would have been named Stevie Wonder. Missing a ton of shots on that Ling. Now the army's going to come down here, and he will be trying to secure the space. What is this drone doing here? That's hilarious. Larva may be trying to steal that base. I don't know. Jumping on top of some Templar here. He does get 1 for his trouble. Noob gonna commit everything to come down and get rid of this tiny army here, which I think like 5 Zealots could have done the trick, but he's gonna bring his entire army down here. And at the same time, gonna go ahead and take the upper right. And we're gonna go into a long game here as I take a moment to clear my nose. Hold on a moment. All right, sorry about that, guys. Bit of that holiday sickness. I'm actually still kind of recovering from the BSL. I didn't know. I have so much more respect actually for Artosis and Tasteless and all the guys that do live events, for how much it takes out of you actually to do a live event. When I'm doing my cast here at home, I'm just kind of chilling, you know. I can take breaks whenever I want. I can pause the video if I want, you know, if I have to go to the bathroom or whatever. Not the case at a live event, man. You really have to be on the ball, and it takes a lot out of you to cast continuously for, you know, 6-8 hours, especially for multiple days. It's really, really rough. And as I said, I'm still recovering from this sickness. Oh my god, what am I looking at here? What is that, like 8 Dragoons fighting 1 Hydra under Darkswarm? Not the way that you want to do it. Now, no, okay, I thought that was a base down there. Base up here in the top right. Gonna have a Nidus network attached very soon. But we're going long here, guys. We are going very long, and I love this for Larva. Larva is such a macro player. In these long macro games, I definitely favor him over most Protoss. We'll see how he wants to do it here in 2023. What is his late game composition? Is he gonna go for Ultra? Certainly hope not. Is he gonna go for Guardians? How is he gonna break these bases in the very, very late game? From what I've seen from him, he's one of those mass players. He just like rams his entire army at you over and over and over again until he breaks a spot. And he seems to do pretty well with it overall. Now coming down for a plague. Oh my god, the plagues are insane. Absolutely ridiculous. Gonna go ahead and consume a bunch more lings here and maybe go for some more plagues. Why not? Here comes some more plagues on a lot of these Zealots and Dragoons. Should consume again and put a Dark Swarm on these Lurkers. He needs to start popping units through this Nidus, by the way. Because it's starting to break here. We only got one Lurker left. Or two Lurkers left, I guess. Now one. Gotta be a little bit careful about that. Maybe gonna go for a counterattack here. He's gonna let this base fall. Am I looking at this right? No. Hydras are gonna pop through. Just as Noob decides to start moving up this ramp, he's gonna pop through a bunch of Hydras to hold things off. And he's gonna come around for the pincer maneuver. Hitting this from the back. But there's a lot of Storm here. Archons as well. Plague on Archon, one of the most useless abilities there is. There we go. Dropping those storms. This is too tight to get through. You cannot get through here and hope to take a decent trade. Looks like he's gonna lose his observers here on the high ground though, and a lot of Templar as well. Noob having a bit of a struggle here, dealing with all of the attacking going on. He's lost all of his observers, so he actually cannot fight these Lurkers right now. He's being pushed into a corner, deeper and deeper into this corner, and as the Dark Swarms get closer and closer, this Dragoon army may end up getting cleaned up. A lot more units coming down this ramp now. And yeah, we're getting closer and closer. The Dark Swarms are closing in on this position, and the Dragoons will actually retreat out. I thought he was going to get trapped there, but he manages to get out at the last moment. Here we go, a Reaver transition now. But I think that it's on Noob finally to try and take this bottom left-hand corner base. I don't think he's going to break upper right now. Too many Defilers, too many Lurkers up here. And yeah, look at how smart Larva is. He knows. Immediately after stopping that attack. Alright, you're gonna try and take the space in the bottom left, aren't you? Time to send some units down there and to preempt that. Dark Swarm here, so effective with those Lurkers. Noob is trying to do a couple of different things at the same time. Deny down here at the bottom left. Clear out these units in the bottom left and attack over here in the top right, and it's just not working out for him. Can he get a good storm? Not gonna get it here. Reaver going to work on these Lurkers though, and it looks like he's actually gonna break through. Was this too greedy here from Larva, taking the base on the bottom of this ramp too early? He loses all of those Lurkers pretty quickly, and now Noob could push through. He can come around this side, drop the Reaver, or here, drop the Reaver, and start hitting the Defilers and Lurkers here. That can be really strong. A lot of storms are banked up right now for Noob. He's just parking them at the bottom and dropping them on everything that comes up to defend this ramp. Another storm should be going down here. Pretty decent. Where's that Reaver going? You got to be pretty careful with this Reaver. Drop it in a safe location. Oh, he's going to target that down immediately. So that goes down. And I don't think that Noob can make it up here. He doesn't think so either. So he will be retreating. Wow. Quite the back and forth here between Noob and Larva. Does he have another Reaver? No, he's got a Dragoon. That's not what you need right now. Where are the Reavers? Where are the Reavers? I don't see any. So he's actually not continuing with that Reaver production, which is a problem. This base is so breakable right now, actually. If I'm looking at this as Larva, I think you need to put like an Overlord over here so you can see what the defenses are. Because if you just assume that there's like Reavers and Cannons and Templar over here, you might, you know, miss out on an opportunity to just win the game straight up. By coming in, you know, with a Dark Swarm and a good group of Lings and just kill that base. Some Storms coming down here. Gonna go after the shuttle now. It's got one Archon in it. That's a big loss there for Noob. Losing that Archon for free. Well, not for free, but to that Scourge. Pretty efficient there for Larva. Larva's supply still a little bit below where Noob's is at. Lurker's getting in the way of the reinforcement path here. Gonna pick up a Lurker and a Defiler. If he comes in this side, drop the Lurker and the Defiler. That's really hard to clean out. I think that's what he's going for right now. I think that must be what he's going for. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. We don't have an Observer here? Oh my god. A bunch of losses here on the side of Noob for just not having the Observer in position. Now gonna run up and actually kill these Lurkers. So he will deal with this attack. But he's not able to get over here and get another base going. This is a problem right now for Noob. Larva can actually start to try and take this base on the high ground. You just take this high ground base, Lurker up here. As long as you're preventing them from taking this one, and preventing Protoss from taking this base, like, you're in a good spot. Coming in, killing off some more Observers here. Wow, Larva done a great job this game of getting Observers over and over and over again. And the Lurker drop comes in. This Lurker has 16 kills. Exactly as I thought. Having this Defiler in there, not even necessary. If there were a bunch of cannons here, you could still kill every single probe because the Defiler would have dropped the Dark Swarm. Really, really well played here by Larva. I'm so glad to see he's back to the ladder. I hope he comes back in a big way as well. Oh, that's funny. I guess these are Hydras, right? There's 2 Hydras being made right now. But you can't actually see what they are. It just says Larva. And indeed, this is Larva playing a fantastic game here. And really showing us an amazing level of understanding how defensive Zerg works in this matchup. Like, think about all the times that he attacked. How many times did he actually attack in this game? He picked off the Templar and he attacked this base. And then the entire rest of the game was just a game of keep away by Larva. Just holding the ball over top of Noob's head and just saying, you know, try and grab it away from me. Just like, you know, a basketball player with massive hands just holding the ball just barely out of range. Not allowing Noob to progress any farther, not allowing him to break through this ramp up onto this high ground. There were some options, there were some opportunities for Noob. I think he really missed out on killing this 4th base here in the center left. Had he realized that there was 1 Lurker and 2 sunken colonies, he could have just ran up this ramp, brought all his forces up onto the top, killed the sunken colony, killed the Lurker, killed this base, and anything that Larva sent to help out, anything he sent to reinforce would have to go up this tiny ramp, would have gotten absolutely massacred here. And I think Noob would have had a really good chance of winning this game. As it stands, Larva takes the victory. And guys, that's it for this Daily Dose. I'll see you guys tomorrow.